Welcome back. Tracy Moffett joining us from Royal LePage Westwin on this Tuesday afternoon. How are you?
Good. I'm good. I've managed to stay cool so far.
Good. Keep the thumbs up.
Gotta like air conditioning.
You do.
Vehicles, offices, houses.
Yes. All of it. You gotta have it, right?
Especially today.
I know. Getting warmer as we go too back into the weekend. Today on the show, though, we're talking about downsizing, empty nest syndrome, when to know when it's time to make the lifestyle change.
Well, you know, the kids have graduated now, whether it's high school or college. And now, you know, there's a lot of parents out there thinking, well, now we're left with this big house. Do we stay? Do we go? What do we do? So we've got some tips on, you know, how to make that decision a little easier. So
if you're lucky enough to have actually grown up in this home, first of all, that's a gorgeous home. I picked the big houses, but we can move through these pictures and talk about the fact that, you know, you might have needed this space at one point.
Yes, absolutely. And when, you know, when the kids move out, all of a sudden it's quiet. And, you know, coming to that decision can be very difficult. It's something that, you know, you shouldn't take lightly. If you're not sure, take the time. If you want to test the waters, you could even maybe, you know, rent your current home, go travel, go do what you want to do. See if, you know, coming back to that home, how does it feel? Does it still feel spacious, too much work? You know, you can test it out that way before you actually go to sell.
Right, because if you remember those houses we just looked at, then if you go to condos, you know, it's such a huge change to go to something smaller.
It is, and that's a thing that I see quite often. I'll see people actually downsize from their house, go into a condo, apartment, townhouse, strata living. You can see in Kamloops we've got some great places to offer, but people will move in, and a year later they'll move out.
Really?
Because they just find that they thought they were ready, but when they actually got into the place, they miss gardening. Sometimes parking can be limited, so you want to check out these places to see, you know, how many vehicles do you have? Do you have any recreational vehicles? Is there RV parking in these complexes? And a lot of times they thought it was the right thing and they've moved back out. So it is a decision that you really got to think about. I know it's tempting because of the money factor. You know, you want to take that equity that you've made in your home. Maybe you want to reinvest it in other places. Maybe you want to try, you know, buying rental properties and stuff like that, and having that equity that you've built up in your home working for you. Maybe you'll want to buy more RSPs, GICs, stock market, whatever your preference is. And so I know the money factor can be quite tempting.
Sure.
And don't let that overshadow your decision, because it's a big one. It's a lifestyle change.
And then getting into a condo means possibly being near a golf course. And, you know, this is a real opportunity for people to not only make the home change, but the activity change and be with people that they want to hang out with.
Absolutely. If you're, you know, at that age where you're getting close to retirement, this is a passion of yours, it, you know, makes total sense. And there's lots of different complexes around Kamloops that have different activities, and, you know, there's lots that are on golf courses. There's lots that offer pools, gyms, that sort of stuff too. So it just depends on your lifestyle as to where you want to go.
Exactly.
And then, of course, preparing your home for sale. You know, the biggest thing that you can do, a lot of times when your kids are gone, you miss them. I know that. You probably want to keep their room like the shrine. You know, you want to show the trophies and the medals. But if you can really pack that stuff up, send it off with them, paint, get it back to sort of neutral palette, it'll definitely help with prospective buyers. Otherwise, they could get distracted by going through these rooms that were once your kids' rooms.
Right,
so
it's almost too personal. They don't want to see people's faces.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and so if you are downsizing, you might eliminate the boomerang effect of your children. So all of a sudden there's no room for them to come back home.
Exactly. A lot of things to think about. I think the best piece of advice is don't do anything fast, right? Go traveling, come back. Is the house too big now? Do you realize that you could use a little bit of less space? Don't make any fast decisions.
Yeah, that's true. Because like I said before, I've seen people do that and they've moved out within a year and they weren't happy.
Interesting.
So,
Tracy, great things to think about today. Thank you very much for being
welcome.
here. Yeah. If you have any questions for Tracy Moffett, information on the screen, tracymoffett.com.